action. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Hooping with Chelsea. I'm Chelsea, and before we get started, I'd like to say thank you to the Jim Lucas Chakotah Library for making this program possible. And don't forget, after the program, you can log our time together today as an activity on Beanstack for the Sequoia Master List Reading Challenges. Yay! As you know, getting plenty of exercise is super important if you want to have a healthy body. And I think exercise should be fun. That's why I love hula hooping. Today I'll show you some ways that you can use a hula hoop on your body besides just regular waist hooping, which you've probably seen before. What you probably didn't know were all the other ways that you could hula hoop, like shoulder hooping, chest hooping, and leg hooping. Let's start with the basics. First of all, the hoop wants to be wherever your body is moving. So if you're moving your waist, that's where the hoop will be. You also have to match the speed of the hoop. Another tip to help you when you're first getting started is that you can turn in the same direction as the hoop. What this does is it slows it down relative to your body and makes it easier. You'll want to remember this when you're learning new tricks on different parts of your body. Also, the bigger the hoop, the slower it goes and the easier it is to keep up because you don't have to move as quickly. So when you're first starting out, make sure you have a hoop that's big enough. Turn in the same direction and move your body wherever you want the hoop to be. So let's start with chest hooping. There's two ways you can start. You can start on your chest, or you can start on your waist and see if you can move it up to your chest. To do this, you'll have to make big, exaggerated movements, like that. Like I said, wherever you move your body is where the hoop wants to be. So if you want to hoop on your chest, you have to move your chest and fight the urge to move your hips too much. Because if you move your hips, that's where the hoop's gonna go to. You've got to move the top half of your body to keep it up here. If you want, you can also start the hoop at your chest by holding it right here under your armpits and giving it a swing. And then you have to move your chest to keep the hoop up. If you're having trouble, remember you can turn in the same direction that the hoop is going. And this will help to slow it down and make it a little easier at first. Yeah, if you're having trouble resisting the urge to move your hips instead of the top half of your body, a good exercise that you can do is try hula hooping on your neck, just to get a feel for what it's like to have the hoop moving on the top half of your body instead of the bottom half. When the hoop is up on your chest, there's really no need to move your hips or your legs so much. That's just wasting energy. Remember, the hoop wants to be wherever you're moving, so if you start moving your hips, the hoop's gonna go down. And if you start moving your chest, you can make the hoop go up. It took me tons of practice to get this down when I first started trying. So if you don't get it right away, don't feel bad. Just keep trying until you get it. As long as you're moving your body and having fun, that's all that matters. Next, let's try some shoulder hooping. For this one, you're going to hold the hoop up above your elbows like this, so that when you let go of the hoop, you can get your hands out of the way, and it's on the outside of your arm. You're going to hold the hoop at a nice flat angle like this. If you started at a weird angle, it's just going to go down. So you always want to make sure that it's nice and flat and parallel to the ground when you start. So, you've got your hoop on the outside of your arms. You're going to give it a push and let go. And what you're doing with your shoulders is you're pulling it back with one shoulder and you're pushing it forward with the other shoulder. This is kind of a weird motion to get used to. pulling back with one shoulder and pulling forward with the other shoulder so that the hoop is going in a circle. You might try both directions to see if you have one direction that's easier than the other. For me, I practice both directions on everything, but this is my awkward direction. I don't know if you can tell. I'll do it in my natural direction for today. And like I said, you can always turn in the same direction as the hoop to slow it down and make it easier for yourself when you're first starting out. So when you first start shoulder hooping, turn in the same direction like this and see if you can get it going with your shoulders. Yay! Again, the hoop wants to be wherever your body is moving the most. So no need to wiggle your hips on this one. Really just keep your hips still and move your chest and shoulders. It'll be easier to learn shoulder hooping if you learn chest hooping first, because you'll be used to moving the top half of your body keeping the hoop up instead of the bottom half. Once you get both of them down, you can do fun things like get one arm in, or the other, or both, and practice putting them in the hoop, out of the hoop, switching them, and just get creative with it. Do whatever you want, put some music on, dance around. Like I said, as long as you're moving and having fun, that's all that matters. Last, let's try some leg hooping. Now this one's kind of advanced, but if you keep practicing, you can do it. Let me show you my technique for leg hooping. Instead of moving both of my legs at the same time to keep the hoop up, I like to keep one leg firmly planted on the ground, and then with the other one, I bend my knee to move the hoop. Now, with the knee that I'm bending, my heel's coming off the ground, but my other foot stays firmly planted to keep me stable. If I do that, I can stay still and control the hoop with just one of my legs. If I try to use both of my legs at the same time, it's much less stable and you can lose your balance and fall over. Another trick to leg hooping is you want to keep the hoop above your knees. That's where you'll have the most control. If it starts to go below your knees, it's really hard to get it back up from there. So, keep one leg firmly planted and use the other knee to move the hoop around by bumping it each time it comes around. Just like that. Now, if you want to get really advanced, you can try to move the hoop up your body from your legs by doing what we talked about, moving your body wherever you want the hoop to be. So if I want the hoop to go from my legs to my hips, I need to move my hips to bring the hoop up, just like that. Then I can move my chest to get it even higher. Can also bring it back down by moving my hips and then letting it fall to my legs and catching it on my knees. With enough practice, you can learn to move the hoop all the way up and down your body effortlessly, just like a circus performer. Whee! Yeah, once you've got some new techniques under your belt, put on some music and just go with the flow. Get creative with it. Try out different moves and see what you can come up with. The most important thing is that you're moving and having fun. for joining me today for this program brought to you by the Jim Lucas Shakota Library. And don't forget, you can log our time together today as an activity on Beamstack for the Sequoia Master List reading challenges. Thanks for having fun with me today, and I'll see you next time.